What's up, Trini? Let's go. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It is November 7th. It's Saturday. It's 11. It's a little earlier than normal. And the reason we did that is because time is borrowed right now. And so because we were doing this where we have a special guest coming in today who just tested positive for the Rona, you just never know. And so we'll be bringing him on. Oh wait, there he is. That's what it looks like. That's Zach, everyone. He is hopefully not dying.
Alive and well.
Yeah, we don't know.
Well, alive.
And Truly Mental's back. Yes, Elizabeth. That is right. Truly Mental is back. Now, for those of you that don't know, the podcast is back up. You can find it all the places you watch or listen to your podcasts. And we released the 3 episodes from 2019 that were archived before we were given the old punch in the eye. And but they're back. And so now, as soon as this is over, we're going to record our first episode and put that in the hopper. And so we'll figure out a plan on when we're going to release. And
we'll call
I'm
that
excited.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2. And so anyway, Jesse, it's great to see you, man. Zach, it's always good to see you. I hope, man, I just hope you're going to be healthy. For those of you that are noticing what's happening here, that's a QR code, like every menu at every restaurant you go to nowadays. Take your phone out, scan it. Thank you. Click, tap, love, enjoy, share. We're just trying to grow our community of goodness. So if you would put your phone up to that QR code and make it worth my while, I would really appreciate you. Jesse, what's happening, man?
Not much, man. Good to see Zach. He got diagnosed not too long ago, but he knew he had it before he got diagnosed, I think. Whenever you use your sense of smell and taste, I think it's pretty much in the bag.
Well, and when 60% of your
jail has it. Yeah. He was working in a very great place. Yeah.
I'm kidding. No one has it.
No, but the good news is, hey, it's gonna go away soon. We just got a newly
we hear there's a lot of cases in Indiana.
But President-elect was just named, so it's probably all gonna go away now, right?
Hey, whoa, settle down, man. This is not going to be a controversial episode, but congrats to 46. Mr. Joe Biden just got, he won it. So,
President-elect.
Hopefully, I don't think there's going to be a smooth transition here, though. It's just the way of the world. There's a lot of ego involved. But Zach, talk to me, man. What's going on? You still got your voice?
First of all, I feel attacked.
Okay.
Personally attacked.
You do not feel the
yeah, I still have my voice. I have no sense of taste, no sense of smell. It is it's unpleasant. It's not horrible, but it's unpleasant. And that's just the election. So also COVID is not pleasant either. It's it's funny because I lost my sense of taste and smell first. And I was talking to a buddy of mine from college. He's like, oh, so no taste and you're grumpy. How can you tell that you're sick? And I'm like, you're a jerk. I haven't seen you in 20 years and still just dunking on me. Just dunking. I have a fatal disease.
That's true. You do. This is true.
How long have you had it now?
I got my test results back on Thursday and I was sick on Monday. So I lost my sense of taste and smell Monday morning. I took a sip of coffee and immediately burst into tears.
For those of you who don't know, Zach loves his coffee.
And even the rum can't take away your sense of humor, buddy.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
That's true.
Yeah, I want to read this.
In all seriousness, though, dude, I'm glad you're okay. Like,
no doubt.
Yeah.
So far, so good. It didn't make me any prettier, which is very unfortunate. I thought I should get something out of it.
It's not too late, man. Yeah. You might get like a random rapid hair growth.
Wait a minute, I can get prettier. Wait.
Damn
Oh.
What do you think of the new ones,
You're
man?
a pretty man.
What do you think of the new ones?
Oh, is that black on black?
Oh, yeah.
I think there's probably going to be room in your suitcase for one of those, right?
I'm bringing a couple. They're for sale.
No, you
Give everything away. Hey, listen to this. I got this message this morning from one of my buddies. It's great. I'm going to read it. It says, I get it. You hated him 4 years ago. You still hate him now. I've seen a lot of hate thrown his way, but this guy is a consistent winner and an overachiever. That's what the people who support him love about him. Yes, there have been some scandals. Yes, there have been some lies, and maybe a few times he's twisted the truth to make himself look better. He's out there every day proving those haters wrong time after time. Call it jealousy, call it envy. Some people just can't handle how successful he is and how much money he has. Could even be jealous that he's got a hot foreign model as a wife. You may not have wanted him in this role, but he's there now, and there's nothing you or I can do about it. I know it's possibly going to get worse over the next several days, but like it or not, Tom Brady is turning things around in Tampa Bay. I love it. I love it.
I love that.
People are messed up, man. People are messed up.
It's I can't help but wonder what other countries think of looking from the outside.
I can. Yeah.
You have the internet, right? You don't have to wonder. It's very clear what they think from the outside.
Yeah. And I spoken to one particular. I don't want to give it away, but he's going to be one of the people on our advisory board is from the UK, and he very, very smart guy, very sensible, and he had some great points that I think probably sounded or would address both sides, But yeah, he made it clear that the world sees us like a burning dumpster. Yeah.
A burning dumpster full of clowns wearing very large shoes. Yes.
What a time to be alive, as Zach would say. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What a beautiful time to be alive.
Man, it is a great time to be alive. I think it's the best time to be alive right now. You know why? Because we are. And that's just how I see it. And so what is the good benefit or value of wishing we were somewhere else at some other time? Here's the thing. We're going to fly back out there tomorrow. And Zach is not going to be showing up to help us out just because he's got this contagion. But he's going to remote in because that's the kind of guy he is. He's going to zoom in and teach his class remotely from right where he's sitting right now, I imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it's going to work, but I imagine it's going to work and the class is going to love it and they're going to appreciate it. So thanks, man. I appreciate
We'll figure it out.
I appreciate you doing that.
I think love and appreciate is very strong wording when it comes to an Iowa law class. I think that's while I appreciate the sentiment, we all know that is probably the top 5 least favorite class of the week.
Well, that regardless of how they feel about it, it's kind of one of the most important ones.
It's not about their feelings. It's not about their feelings.
Even if I need to be paying attention here and watch Zach do this and learn the things he's saying instead of be working while you're doing it. But even then, I still wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, even if I knew it, because we're not Iowans. You know what I mean?
We just haven't done it.
I think it's better coming from a local law enforcement.
Well, yeah, because I can talk about all the ways that we're broken. Because I even being off last week, I still experienced at least one broken piece of the puzzle in the commitment process. So I get to talk about that, and I'm super excited about it.
Now, when we were addressing
latest greatest,
we're addressing clinicians. I felt comfortable telling them, hey, if you're going to communicate with law enforcement and you want them to take somebody and you want that to work out for you, these are the things you should say because this is what the law says they should be doing.
Right.
I was cool with that. And I remember, when I asked you for that, that's the section I used. And the even better part is a lot of the, not verbatim, but comparably, they aren't too much different from Texas or any other state. Because when you get down to it, most states have the same laws that allow people to get treatment when they don't realize they need it. So, but yeah, I'm just glad you're able to do it still, is probably what I'm trying to say.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm able to do it too, because I'm locked in my basement and lonely and bored. So it's nice to have some kind of human interaction.
I don't know if this is, I'm pretty sure it's inappropriate, but what I was going to say is, well, at least you can have your dog come down and hang out with you, but I don't know that she would or know that she was. Or
he can't use stairs, Joe. He has no eyes and he's deaf.
He lost the other eye.
Tell us about your dog. Tell us about your dog.
I think real quick before he does, we were just there, 4 weeks ago. I think it was 4 weeks ago we were there. The dog had one eye.
Right.
This dog's old. It's blind. He's deaf. He just walks into cupboards. It's sad, man. And Zach was saying as we showed up to, like, you know, he made some food for us, and and so we show up and we're sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I was giving the dog a bath and I didn't realize, or I think I forgot, but as I was like washing him or drying him off, I was like, oh, he just has a hole in his face from where his eye was supposed to be. And I was like, that is terrible. And since we've left in the last 4 weeks, the dog has lost its other eye.
I mean, and to be clear, he didn't just fall out. I mean, he didn't just like, oh gosh, where's my eye? Yeah, we had to take it. He had an infection behind. It's the same way he lost his other one. He had an infection that went all the way behind the eye, and he was completely blind in this eye anyway. So like, it was more of an adjustment for us, because now you look at him and he's just, this is what he looks like. His eyes are sewed shut, and we paid the extra $50 this time for the prosthetic eyeball that go behind the lid, though. So
you did.
My career's on fire. So we were wondering, like, oh, how is this going to change? It changed absolutely nothing for him because he was that blind. I had made up my mind that he could still sense light, and the vet was like, no, you idiot. He can't sense anything now. That's why it's okay to take this other eye. He can't see anything. He can't sense that you're there. I mean, he can smell us, so he'll find us throughout the house, but I never in my life thought that I would have a 16-year-old Shih Tzu with no eyes that is almost completely deaf.
I did. I imagined that as soon as I met you.
He also, I can tell right away. You just know that kind of person. Tell us about his mechanics. How's his body operate?
Oh, so like how he gets through the house?
Yes.
So first of all, he has bad hips, so he just kind of almost kind of like Slytherin house, right? So he just kind of makes his way through the house, and then he puts his nose on the wall and follows the wall to get around the house. So that's how he knows where he's at. He just will run into a wall and then just kind of squeak his way across the wall to find his way to whatever room we're in.
That explains what I was seeing. I was waiting for that explanation, but
I was just wondering what that was. Just drops dry little Twinkies in the kitchen when you're hanging out. Like, he's great, man. He's great.
Yeah, clearly it's my wife's dog, because I have a soul and I would not have let this go on this long, but she's just not ready yet. She's not ready to let go.
It's like a family member, so I get it.
Well, it's part of one. I mean, most of our family members have all their body parts, so I mean, there's less of him every day.
You guys go ahead. I'm gonna, because there's a slight thing happening where my mouse just completely died, so I have no control. And so even when this thing does end, I'm not gonna be able to close the broadcast. I'm not gonna be able to do anything because I have no mouse, and so I need to find my cable and like plug this thing in.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, because that never ends badly. Just letting it just run.
So tell me how you got coronavirus. How did I get it? I would imagine. Well, I'm not going to say that. It's a family show. It had to been at work, because when you guys aren't in town, I have no social life. So it had to have been at work. But the weird part is, I wore a mask. I usually don't have a propensity for sticking my fingers in my mouth after I touch wet things. I don't really, aside from grocery shopping, going to work, just lately I haven't been out and about in the community. So it's not like I was going to a kegger or something and being irresponsible. But we've got a few people at work that have it. So and our state is horrible. Right. So 2 days ago, our state. We had no idea. We were just there, and you're like, "Oh, did you know?" And I'm like, "Yeah." No, well, and that was nothing. So that was 1,800 in a day. We had 4,500 in a day 2 days ago. 4,500 positive cases in one day, and we have 3.7 million people. Just because I always like to bring up Oregon in conversation whenever I can, because I'm hoping some fine benefactor will come along and move me there. They have 4.8 million people, and their daily case average is 500. So they have 1 million more people than us. And we had 4,500 cases. So is that affecting your hospitalizations, like your capacity? Yeah, it's starting to. So
I know someone that works in one of the hospitals here in town, and they were telling me the other day that their bed space is extremely limited. And so, like, when they have perfect examples, they have people that are coming in for the mental health unit, but they're testing positive for COVID, so they're having to put them on the heart floor. So they've got people in places they shouldn't be because they're not as well, maintained and regulated. But because they have COVID, they can't be in the mental health unit because they're trying to keep that isolated.
So they can't get treated for what they've been taken for because they have,
right, because they've got COVID instead. Real quick question: when I do this, you can't hear me, right?
No.
Yeah, it's blowing my ears out.
Since I know Jesse tells the truth, I'm going to go ahead and go with what he said. So I just wanted to make sure that because one time I was pushing the mute button when we were on, and it was making no difference.
Let's not make blanket statements like that, Zach.
I'm just excited that we're getting to fly into a hotspot tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's like I remember when they were telling me we were going to Iraq.
I'm convinced I've probably had it 7 times. I really.
Well, luckily now with our new downtown digs, we got to get tested every
I'm
week.
convinced I've also been tested more than any person I know, and it's always been negative. So I'm just like waiting.
Hey, Zach, when you sent me your, as part of our agreement to our relationship, when you sent me your medical records and it said what type of test you got, which one was that?
The nose test, the nasal,
like into your skull,
yeah, right down into the brain. Which, look, if you haven't had it done yet, it's not that bad. It's really not. It's like like when you go to the swimming pool and you get chlorinated water up your nose. But if you really want me to blow your mind, my wife went and got tested Thursday. She got her test results back yesterday, so she got a quick turnaround, 24-hour turnaround. Negative. She is so sick today that it's ridiculous. So she's going to go get retested because we got to keep the kids out of school for 14 days after their last exposure. So our kids are never going back to school.
Not past February.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because our office space at Geekdom off, like, pretty much says if you're going to be there, you got to do weekly testing. So there's one that we do now that isn't like the others we've done, like the one you had.
It's not a catheter.
You just exactly
a face
you
catheter.
Just rub it inside your nose yourself, each nostril, like for like 5 seconds or something. You put it in a tube and you give it to the nurse, and then within 12 hours they tell you the results or whatever. But it wasn't like.
I'm curious if it would catch a positive, to be honest, but it feels good. Like, yes, I'm still negative. All right.
I'm still negative. I feel great.
So I wake up every morning.
No, that's I have been like this week. I've just been like, man, something's off. Like I don't know if it's rest, stress. I don't know what it is, but every day I
think it's all the things.
Well, allergies too, I think. But just, man, I've like every day I wake up, I just feel like crap lately, and I don't know what's happening with that. So I have like a whole counter down there filled with like our medicine cabinet that I'm taking with me next week. My Airborne, my zinc, like NyQuil. I'm gonna hit NyQuil at like 4:45, Jesse, and just see ya.
That, and I have allergies too, and I had a dry cough for I don't know the last 3 months, so I wasn't really worried about it until I lost my sense of taste and smell. The minute that happened, I was like, "Here we go, this is it." I mean, and it was like then right after that, I started coughing, I started getting fatigued, my joints started to ache, and I'm like, "Man, I thought I had it 2 months ago. Like I thought I had it in September, so I was like feeling bulletproof. I mean, I was still being responsible, but." Crap, man. Like then once it hit, I was like, this is a real thing. I mean, I'm not laying in bed going, when do I die? But it's real. It's real, guys. Sorry. It's real. I know everybody wants it to be a hoax. It's real. It's a real thing.
That's not true, Elizabeth. So speaking of actual wellness, and then this guy right here. So
such a cool dude.
Yeah. Well, and beyond that, I mean, this guy. So I was just on his. He has a police softball podcast, which is it's got great national reach from all the different police softball teams. And he asked me to come be on the show the other night, and I was like, but I don't play on the softball team. But he was talking about the conference, and so obviously I agreed, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I just love being a part of anything that this guy does. And I was only on for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in the beginning of the show, but then I was so like glued to his show because of the amount of videos that he was pouring into it. And so it was really, really engaging. But he's got a great videographer that he's working with too to help him put all that together. I mean, he captures a lot of the footage, him and his wife Audrey, who are just incredible people. But now he's got this videographer that's helping him out. All of that to say, to make it wellness related. If you don't know about it, if you're on our side of the arena as fans of myself or Jesse or Zach or Solution Point Plus, then you have to know about the International Keepers of the Peace Conference, April 12th through the 14th here in San Antonio, Texas, downtown, right before Fiesta. It's an incredible. It's going to be the first one. It's going to be huge, and it's a closed circuit. So it's for first responders only, police, fire, EMS, and military. And so there's almost no excuse to not attend it. He is putting in so much energy and so much effort into making sure that this thing is going to be a success. And so I would be remiss if I didn't say, get to this conference, and we'll keep pushing stuff out as it gets even a little closer to, as we get some marketing materials, we'll start putting those out as well. But anyway, April 12th through the 14th, block it, come to San Antonio. You will not be sorry. Go to the keepersofthepeace.com website, check it out, and be here. And you'll notice one of us is a speaker as well. He asked me to speak at it. Jesse's going to be involved. I'm going to be involved. He's got Travis Howes coming from South Carolina to come and do some comedy. He's got Hoist Gracie, as long as his Bellator contract doesn't conflict, he's going to show up and do some jujitsu. It's just it's going to be a really cool setting, and so I would love for all first responders to be there. And so that's my wellness claim, Elizabeth Stevens. That's over your birthday. I don't know if you can get in, Elizabeth, but you can definitely hang out outside the window and be like, I wonder what's going on in there. But you'll enjoy the city nonetheless.
And the good news is that right afterwards, Fiesta starts, so you can be here for that. If there's a Fiesta, hopefully there will be.
Yeah, there will be. Biden just won the presidency.
There, you're right. I forgot.
Fiesta is coming back. I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Or everything will be shut down more than it's ever been before.
It's all going to be shut down. So, but anyway.
But it's going to be an amazing conference, and I don't want to say that because Joe and I are involved, right? What I want to say is I'm glad we're involved, and I'm honored to be a part of it. But what I like, there's a lot of things I like about Trini, but the thing that I didn't know is his ability to have a vision and make that vision reality. So he can see things that probably other people can't, and he's going to make things happen and put it together, and he has. And I have to tell you, this conference might be, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it, the best conference you might have ever attended. You just got to get there. He is putting up a great time for you guys. But moreover, what you're going to get out of this, moreover than having a great time and some great training, I hope will be a lot of insight and a lot of mental wellness that you can take with you to build your resilience.
And not just that. I mean, the breakout sessions about how to start a business as a first responder, how to start a YouTube channel as a first responder. There's so many things that are going to be targeted towards our niche of how to launch things as people who live busy lives and have this career. But then also, I mean, even writing a book, he's got a company showing up that will write your book for you. You just tell them your story, they interview you, and then start to finish, they handle it all. There's so many different things. Again, Jesse's going on a limb. I'm going to be the root of this tree and say, I think as a police officer or first responder, this will be the best conference that you've ever been to. I've been to several different law enforcement type conferences. And again, they're all pretty much the same type of thing. I don't think there's anything like this that exists. I think this is going to be huge. I think the first year is just going to be, again, the start, but then it really is going to grow on that after year. And then also too, and we'll wrap this part but I know because he talks about it. But he's a 2-time cancer survivor, but the odds are against him, and he's a fighter, and I believe in this man with my whole heart. But I know that he's got some his scans coming up here this month, and so he's worried about that and a little stress going on with the medical stuff. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. We love you, and just anything you need, you please know that you've got a whole community around the country that loves you and supports you. But we're right here, so we'll do whatever we can to be there for you and help you out, man. So. And Zach, I really hope you plan on coming down, man. Even if you get the cadet pass, I really hope you plan on being here, because you got a free place to stay. You can always stay at my house. We got plenty of extra space. Like, no excuses, man.
What do you have on tap at the conference for cops who don't want to be cops anymore? Do you have anything for that? Because I would be all over that.
I'm gonna run that. People who leave before a pension. What the heck? Yeah.
Joe, your beliefs are showing.
Yeah.
Joe, your beliefs are showing.
Yeah. Heck yeah. No, I think it's a great one. What if this isn't for me? That's what we're going to call it.
Yeah. Maybe like social media seminars, multimedia seminars, like all that stuff, so that you know how to do your audio right for once, things like that.
Yes. Everyone needs an AV guy. Yeah. I love you. Got it, Trey. Yeah. So anyway, that was all teed up by Elizabeth, who says this was an anti-wellness production, and it's not. If you scan that QR code, you're gonna be filled with wellness. just do it. Anyway,
I think that dog might be the most stoic subject we've had on this show.
And what's your dog's name, Zach?
Brutus.
Brutus. Yeah.
He's all about stoicism, bro. He's doing his thing.
He is fully present.
Is he though?
I don't think he has a choice but to be.
He isn't feeling sorry for himself,
No. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he gets confused by piles of leaves. Like, he doesn't know if there's a pile of leaves somewhere where there wasn't. He's lost. He has no idea how to get back in the house. He doesn't know where he's at anymore. He went down a hill the other day, and I asked him, do you remember us having a hill? Have we ever had a hill? Maybe you're not where you're supposed to be. He doesn't.
Yeah. So are you and Jenny sleeping in the same bed?
Excuse me?
That was a big question there.
I mean,
I'm just curious if you and your wife are sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, yes.
Why she's sick.
Because you're contagious, is what he's saying.
Yeah. So her thought process is if she doesn't have it, it's because she already had it, or she's not going to get it. That's her thought process. Like I said before, though, she has like a barking cough right now. So it's my fault. But I told her I'd sleep downstairs. She said,
That's nice, man, that she wants you to be in bed with her. I
just think that it's not so much that she wants me there. It's just she'd have to hand me my pillows, and there'd be effort. And this way, it's just like, I'll just go to sleep.
That's great, man. That's great. I didn't mean to throw you off with my question. I was just curious of how quarantine at home works, man.
It doesn't work great.
Dog is not going well.
No. When can you go back to work?
You say it like I'm looking forward to it. Apparently I can go back 10 days after onset of symptoms. And since onset of symptoms happened the same day as I went and got tested, I think we're talking the 12th. I think I go back on the 12th. But now with my wife being sick and it being later, and the girls not being able to go to school and someone having to care for them, it muddies the water so badly right now, because the way that we do it at our agency is there's all these different codes that you can use depending on what you're off for. And you only get 80 hours of COVID pay. And then after you use up your COVID pay, if you're staying home for your kids, it ends up FMLA, and FMLA, they can tell me I have to use my vacation time. If I use my vacation time, I won't have it for later. It's a whole disaster. So yeah, it's going to stink.
Government jobs, buddy.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, what do you know about that? You guys don't know nothing anymore.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Taking time off now is very different.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, I'm not getting up today.
Yeah.
I better call my boss. I'm not getting up today. Hey, there we go. I just called my boss. Jerks.
I wish that was reality. I thought that was going to be like,
No, it's been busy, but it's been good because it's like all choice work, right? And I think that's the big difference.
I'm gonna have time to work out. I'm gonna have time to like ride a bike. Like, no.
Well, you could if you schedule it in. You got to put your fun things in your calendar. I'm learning this, thanks to Life Coach.
Dude, I honestly can say this about Joe. I have never seen the guy use a calendar for anything. I've never. It's always like, hey man, are we anywhere on this day? Like that's how I've been his calendar. I have been.
I have several calendars,
and I've been watching him this week, man. And it's detailed. Like, I mean, he's got like these little check boxes and like. Dude, I don't know who he is anymore.
I even put golf on my calendar because it's important to schedule the things you want to do, the things you enjoy as well. And that way,
I don't do that.
Yeah, Jesse's calendar is filled with like, oh crap, I got to do this. Like, no, put the fun things on there. Like schedule an hour to play guitar, or learn a new song, because then you look forward to it. You do it. It's like, yeah, I had to watch this. Not had to. I got to. Thank you to Jess. But she's going through a very robust life coach school certification course. And so I'm watching a lot of the content, and they have this thing called Monday Hour One, where the first hour of your Monday morning, no phones, no TV, no nothing, just do a thought download and just write out everything that you have to do that week and then start to organize it. But make sure you include the fun things. And so we did this on Sunday night. And so because Monday mornings are just hard, I'm going to do Sunday nights and then plot the week out. Now, this next week's going to look very different because obviously I can't golf. I can't but I did already commit. And Jesse, I'm going to let you know right now here live on air. I'm only going to drink beer 2 nights, probably. And I'm going to make way better food choices. I just feel disgusting when we go and eat terrible all week long.
So I wanted to say something mean, and I couldn't bring myself to it. When you were talking about how many people are at hospital capacity, and I was going to say something like if you eat pork tenderloins every single day of your life, you're probably not going to be in the best shape, right? And I can attest to that because every time we go, we eat terrible. It's great food, but man, do we make poor
terrible
eating choices.
Yeah. And I pay for it.
But I'm glad you're doing that because we can hold each other accountable.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah. That's great. That's great because the last time you both tried to kill me. And now when I'm not going to be there, you're going to eat healthily and be responsible. And then when I come back, you'll try to kill me again.
Well, because our bad influence is gone, So now we have to make choices for ourselves and not Zach, encouraging us to just drink a 6-pack and order Casey's Pizza.
I think you're remembering that differently. At no point was I like to Taco Bell, gentlemen. I never said that. I never said that. That was you.
I'm excited about Taco Bell because I haven't had it in like a year or two.
Full disclosure, I was also very excited, but I'm not going to take the onus on me. It was not my idea. It was your idea.
For me, it was all about convenience.
Yeah.
It was very convenient.
Yeah. There's a grocery store with health food right next door. You want to talk to me about convenience, sir?
But I'm glad to hear Joe say that. I am. So that's good. That's good news.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach.
You're not sorry.
It's great news.
So, Elizabeth, you should stand corrected. We are talking about wellness more than I thought we would.
Yeah. Sleep, calendars, exercise, food choices.
No, I think, honestly, though, I don't do that. I don't plan to do things I like to do. It's usually like, I'm done with this. Like, now what is there now? But intentionally planning to do fun things or things that are good for your hobbies, family, all that. Making that as intentional as doing other things that need to get done, I think is probably really important. And I've never even considered that. And that is a lesson on what we call inappropriate affect.
That was me being supportive.
So you guys come up here for the next week, and then you back home after that?
Home for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. And then we fly back out on the 29th.
Okay. So since you're going to be home for 2 weeks, Jesse, I challenge you for at least one of those weeks to schedule at least 4 things that you enjoy doing and stick to that schedule. 4 things over that course of 2 weeks.
4 different things, or like, could it be play the guitar 1 hour, 4 days?
I think any way that it is scheduling something that you enjoy, Jesse, I think that would be acceptable. I think
schedule something I enjoy doing 4 times that
week. 4 times. Yep. And it could be 4 different things. It can be the same thing 4 times, as long as you receive fulfillment from it. And I know you receive fulfillment from your work, so that's where it gets real fuzzy for you.
No. But yeah.
But I think once you do it and stick to it, and then you'll realize how much easier everything else is. Because I do it in the reverse, right? Because all I want to do is jack around, right? So I have to schedule the things that I need to do around the things that I enjoy doing. So every morning since I've been homesick, I schedule at least 2 hours where I work on building a website.
Nice.
And then after that 2 hours is done, I know I still have work to do. After that 2 hours is done, I'm like, okay, I'm getting up. I'm going to walk away from this website. I'm going to go watch a movie, or I'm going to play a video game, or I'm going to work on some Photoshop that's just for me or whatever. And it really helps balance everything out so you don't get burned out on any one thing. So I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised when you do it.
So I accept the challenge.
What I'm hearing you say, Zach, is that you're testing the waters of how effective you would be if you were self-employed. And so far you've done well.
Your beliefs are showing, Joe. That is my favorite feedback of all time.
That led us to a 98% satisfactory rate.
Did you know that's like we have a 98% satisfaction rate?
Who does?
We do.
Our training.
Oh, so only 2% negative?
Yeah, man. And you're part of that.
That's pretty. I'm part of the negative.
No,
and 100% of first responders that have gone through that training have reported that they found the training valuable to them.
Beneficial.
Yeah.
On some level.
Yeah,
so we're going to start capturing
we got metrics now,
quantitative metrics. Yeah. We updated the critiques as well, and we've got 4 new questions at the end, so we can start capturing some data. It's pretty exciting.
Are my beliefs showing? Question number 1.
Yeah.
Question number 2: have I rubbed any shoulders that I shouldn't have rubbed this week?
Yeah. How likely is it you're going to resign after this training?
It was so crazy that I didn't know this, but I gave that speech. Remember when we came back to Waterloo, and I'm like, hey, last time we were here, like, if you're going to critique the class, critique the curriculum, if you don't like my white hair, now I got to say, if you don't like my accent, I got to put that in there now. I don't want to hear about it. Right.
Sit closer.
Right.
So I will say that I appreciate you sitting close to the microphone, because your accent goes away the closer you get.
There were people in the class that were there at the original class where that fiasco happened. They're like, hey, I was there when all that went down. So I'm glad you kind of clarified that. I'm glad he ended up marrying her. Like, man. I gotta tell you, man. You got a great town, man. You guys got great pig sandwiches, though, man. I can't contest.
And great people, man.
Great gas station pizza.
Yeah,
great people.
We're excited that Karin emailed us this morning that we got the February approved. So
we're going back. First week of February.
Gift that keeps on giving. Iowa.
Man, that's the weather you've been waiting for, Jesse.
How's the weather in February? I was just about to ask.
You're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's well stated.
Yeah.
That's the worst month of the year.
Yeah, if a polar bear wore panties, like what they would feel like.
Have you ever felt negative wind chill before?
I have.
No,
it's terrible.
I don't even like the thought of that. Like
you're gonna learn today.
It's gonna be pretty miserable.
Like just conceptualizing that is horrible.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna be very, very upset.
Okay.
Yeah. If you never thought that the wind could hurt you, you were wrong.
Like burn you.
Yeah.
The good news is, I'm gonna find the silver lining is that I don't have to like make traffic stops on that or anything. You know what I mean? And there's guys that have to and gals that have to. So God bless them.
There you go. That's good reframe.
God bless them.
At least Zach. That's a good way to look at it.
All I want to do is walk from one building to the car, from the car to the building while I'm there. That's my goal.
Yeah, it's still gonna try to kill you. It's horrible, man. I don't know. My wife and I talk all the time. Like, how did we so many people got to be born and grow up and be employed in wonderful places. And this is where we are. The weather is always trying to kill us. If it's winter, it's trying to freeze us to death. If it's summer, it's trying to give us heat stroke. There is no happiness. There are 2 months out of every year that are glorious.
That was last month.
Yeah. Well, and right now it's 75 degrees outside right now.
Yeah.
In November.
I'm glad we get to experience that. I'm going to say something though. I'm going to make myself be grateful. I'm going to be in gratitude because I remember going the first time, and we had no idea where this was going to end up. We had no idea what it was going to be like. I know Joe had a vision and he wanted it to be the full-time thing, and I did too. And sometimes we would be like, man, it's going to happen soon. And then other times we'd be like, maybe after we retire. Like there was all kinds of like what ifs. But from the first time being there, just how like roller coastery it was, right? We just talked a little aspect of that, these little things and everything in between. We've gone back a lot of times and we're still getting business there. And like Joe says, great people. I love hearing how the training transforms people's lives or perspectives, and how they convey how it's bettered them. And the testimonials you put together are really awesome, man, because we've always heard that in a handshake on a Friday when they're leaving, or they'll send us an email, but that's never been captured before. And we probably should have been doing that from the beginning, but it was really, really cool. So I want to be grateful for that, even when the wind is cutting my face apart.
Well, and you didn't know this, Jesse, but because of Zach showing up and doing those testimonials, we were able to raise a round of funding to donate some equipment to him and from the community. And so it was great because now he's excited to do more testimonials in February for us. And he says they're going to be better. Is what
be in focus for starters. I mean, that's pretty key.
I was so happy watching the video. I was like got goosebumps.
That was great. Yeah.
And then I read your text messages and I was like, you ungrateful. I don't like the camera. It's so fuzzy. The image isn't sharp. Like your camera sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, this must I can't speak. This must be like what it's like when I'm hearing a song that other people are enjoying. And in my head, I'm like, this is garbage. Right? Like this is just garbage. Because I really liked the video. But if you pay attention to it, yeah, it was a little grainy. There was a little like granular, like around the shoulder and lights and stuff. We want to be real technical. So I know the quality improved, but we are grateful. I know that you're not incompetent, Zach. You just needed a better camera.
The quality will improve. This, like, if I wasn't married to my wife, I would marry this camera. It's going to change the landscape of how I do photography. It's going to change everything. So it's pretty amazing.
And I just ordered the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which will do A/B shot and
C shots.
I got the DJI OM4 gimbal, which is incredible.
I don't even know what that is.
You will. I'm bringing it. And so, man, it is so cool.
Is it
with my Rode mics? No, man, it's just a gimbal stabilizer for the phone. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm excited about
Zach's face.
February testimonials. I know.
You bought that?
Yeah.
Zach's face.
Yeah.
What are you ever going to use that?
I already did. I used it last night at Topgolf. And my shots were stable.
Of course they were.
Yeah, man.
I hate you so much.
Because now you're going to want one. Hey, here's what's messed up.
Play with it.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Now, I think I am a terrible influence on people when it comes to like buying things. Zach will attest to this. But so Jesse, last night, because we went and picked up Blake because we didn't see him last weekend because he was sick. And so we picked him up to take him to Topgolf. Well, Mike and Dawn came and brought Peyton so they could have a little play date. And Mike was like, "What is that?" Because Mike is huge into photography. So he's like, "What is that thing?" And I was showing him. He was like, "Oh my God, dude!" So he ordered one, and it's getting delivered today. And I was like, "That is so exciting for me." Like, I wish DJI would pay me for all the stuff I helped them sell. But
dude, if you had a YouTube channel, I'm telling you.
I know. I need to start doing things like that too. Yeah, but I've got all the time, so I'm gonna start.
Turn camera geeks. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
Laura, we have.
Yeah, we
Well,
really
not all of us, but they have. I know that the iPhone is going to be pretty awesome, so I'll be happy with that.
It's going to be incredible.
Right.
You can shoot in Dolby, like real time, and edit and like low light. It's going to be
I'm
phenomenal.
going to go back to making guitar videos with that. You know what? I'm going to put that on my.
There you go, man.
My fourth thing. Yeah, my fourth.
I didn't get the email saying that I could order mine.
Order your what?
My iPhone. I set it all up so it was supposed to notify me on the day that they were available, and I have not gotten the email yet.
Yeah, sorry, man. You can now though. I'll authorize it. Go ahead and order it.
Thanks, Apple Joe.
So you're anti-Apple.
No, not
No. To be clear, I'm anti-Apple computers because nobody can work on them, right? I can work on PCs. I can tear them apart. I can replace components. I can do everything with PCs. I don't like Apple computers, but I love Apple peripherals, like your cell phones and your iPads. And I was looking at the Apple Home Mini today, but I decided against it because it doesn't interface great with my smart devices in my house right now. But I love Apple's phones and iPad.
Just transition to everything, because those HomePod minis are pretty incredible and how they can sync up with your watch and your phone, and man, it's pretty incredible. And yeah, Laura, I think, don't you live out in like Silicon Valley? So or in that area, I imagine you probably did get it early. And yeah, you do have to be special, and we're not. But here's what's super
not
cool.
Special. I gotta wait for mine.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna see mine till
Saturday.
We get back. Until we get back.
Yeah. So when we get back on Saturday, it's like, one, we're coming back to a super cool party with Trey Serrano, but two, we're gonna have new phones. I'm gonna have my gimbal stabilizer shooting this party just so I can send footage to Zach, and he's gonna be like, "That's incredible." Yeah.
Speaking of Trey Serrano, right? Like, this guy is gonna celebrate his life and celebrate his years, and he should. So he was also a police officer. He was on the mental health unit. He was my partner for a while. So we were on the mental health unit at nights, and we'd go make mental health calls when I was on the unit. She lives in the real Northern California, where there's pretty trees and probably. Look, that's Zach's happiness. That's what you just said.
Space,
yeah, that's Eureka, I think, is where she lives, isn't it? Eureka, the Eureka area. So beautiful.
But he made a lot of money in real estate, and he was a super laser focused business guy, and was reading and listening to podcasts and watching videos, and I mean all the things. He put all his energy.
We had a lot of detailed conversations in the small bathroom at Tobin Hill CrossFit, and for like the last year, about, hey, are you going to do this? I think I'm going to do it. Are you going to do it? I think I'm going to do it. Hey, like I'm going to do this and that. And he was so excited because we both knew we were going to leave. But he was, like Jesse said, he was so focused on it. Sorry, Jesse, I didn't mean to cut in, but yeah, it was just, I remember we would be like, after this terrible workout that Gabe would put us through, and I'm just dying. And I'm like, oh God, I'm trying to stop sweating before I take a shower to head into work in the morning. And, but he would be so focused on like, I want to get out, like, because I know that there's so much more for me to do beyond the boundaries that this place kind of confines me to. And I was like, man, I'm right there with you. Like, it's so hard to scale or grow. It's easy to start a business as a first responder. And I know maybe Trini would say, well, not for everybody, because he's had a very successful business for 20 years now with biotechs. But I also know that a lot of that success is because of how great his wife is at doing that while he was being a police officer. And so if you have something like that, that's great. But to just start a business as a first responder is not that difficult. To scale it, to like grow it, to like make it into like a very sustainable thing, it's very, very hard to do both. And so again, like, you know, the term is chasing two rabbits. And we were like 1 foot in, 1 foot out for probably a year and a half. And it just finally got to the place where it broke. And so, yeah, Trey left probably 3 months before we did, Jess, I think.
But so I think we were waiting for like this golden egg to like land in front of us. We're like, okay, now we're safe. And everyone's like, no, that doesn't happen. But he was able to grow it really good, as much as he could before he left, right? He had a little bit more maybe luxury like lean into. And
but same thing, wife that didn't work at the time. Now he's brought her into the business, but like didn't work.
And she does a lot of good work.
Two young kids under 6, like, and just took the leap. No insurance, no pension, no security. It was just like, yeah,
monster mortgage, like beautiful home. Like he said, you know what? I want to do what I love. And he loved improving people's lives by giving them a place to live, and also teaching them about the power of making money through real estate.
And he's a solid marketer too with video.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So
Zach's like, I feel attacked again.
We're going to celebrate his life Saturday. We are. So as soon as we fly in, a lot of things have to happen, but the end will be at Trey's house. I'm excited to do that. My former partner.
Yeah, buddy. With new camera, new gimbal, great shots. I'm going to send them to Zach. It's going to be incredible. Yeah, man, I'm excited.
That's when we use Zach.
Why don't you send all that to me and let me edit it together?
Yeah, heck yeah.
I'm going to have some time on my hands, I think.
Do we need to get a Dropbox or something going between us? Because I would love to just take, like, you could be my videographer. Trini has one. But if I could just take shots, because to me, that's the part where it's like, I love shooting things, but then to like download everything and then have to put it all together, it's like, that takes a lot of hours. And I don't know that there's a big enough ROI for me at this point to do those yet. It's just a fun hobby. I like doing it, but for me, I need to focus energy and time and effort onto something that's going to like help the business.
So when you're doing it, the main thing is you have to make sure that everything that you're doing is fun. Like, so, and that you're involved in it. So you can't just shoot B-roll of a party. You know, you can't just shoot B-roll of a property. You have to have some active A-roll in there that you're in it and you're interacting with people and you're talking to the camera and you're having fun. And that is how you get a YouTube channel going. Like and you record a bunch of that stuff and then chop it together into a fun 4 to 5 minute video. And then, you know, there it is. That's a blast to do. I mean, it's a lot of fun to do. So
yeah, I'm gonna, and with those Rode Wireless Go, the audio is so good on those things too, with distance. And so I'm gonna play with that. I'll definitely get some footage and shoot it to you. This is where I wish you lived here and I could just airdrop things to you.
Right.
Makes it easier, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe
I've got Dropbox. It's you know, it's easy. And then Google Drive works really well too. So
yeah. All right. I feel like we're just having conversations if we're not live on air.
That's the entire show.
Yeah. What is this was this reminds me of this. I don't want to like this isn't controversy. I'm just saying. But last night when Joe Biden came out and gave his speech, and as soon as it was over, the commentator was like, that was a lot of words for like, what was the point of that? And I think that's probably what people are thinking right now is like, there's been a whole lot of talking and I'm not sure what the purpose was of this. So we thank you for just joining us on this Saturday.
You know, if the #1 podcaster in the United States can just get on and talk about whatever he feels like.
Talking about the Joe Row?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why can't us last place in the world do the same?
Yeah. Laura is super organized with her B-roll. Heck yeah.
Oh, I'm not discounting B-roll at all, but you have to have more. You know,
Zach,
you have to have more.
We like to have our guests answer questions that come in, so you take this one.
Oh, okay. So, well, you know what? I can actually speak to this one. So I've had a podcast I haven't done much with it in the last year, but I had a podcast that ran over 10, 11 years, right? And one of the things that one of the constant feedbacks I got was the most fun people had was when it was like dropping in on a conversation with their friends that they hadn't seen in a while. So every once in a while doing something like this is fun because it humanizes everybody and it kind of like makes it a little bit more laid back. Now, everyone that's watching and listening may tell me I'm completely wrong, but that's why feedback is great, right? So if it's not working, you need to let these two guys know. I mean, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want, but you need to let these two guys know because they want to know.
Well, and we kind of do too, obviously. I think it's important to, like last week's episode with Yale Swerdlow was great. And it was like content ridden and there's a lot of like beautiful nuggets in there. And she's an incredible human being. But there's also this where I like to have just some context here where it's like, we just want to have levity. I don't want it to be but I am excited about a couple guests that we have coming up, which are like huge, like names in the industry of all things mental health and wellness. And so I'm super excited about some guests that we have coming up. Not that I don't get excited with Zach, but I see Zach as like he's a co-host. I mean, he's like, he's just like he's the third leg of our three-legged stool here. And we're not as stable when it's just the two of us. So, yeah, thanks, Trini. He's had fun.
Good.
Hey, thanks, Trini. Man, I love that guy. I just do.
Yeah. Laura, I don't know. Laura, I don't know Laura, but I know Laura well enough to know that she's not like really mad at us.
Nah.
It's a chill day.
If Elizabeth was mad, she'll let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Elizabeth won't be afraid to tell us.
Elizabeth's like she's like our internal thermostat.
And honestly, I think for us, we could have made this super timely, we could talk about 1,000,001 things. I mean, that everyone's already talking about or putting on social media, but we didn't want to do that. I want a little break from that. So that's what this was for me. I know that a lot of you are always hoping for like huge gold nuggets or Joe's inspiration, all of that stuff. And we're going to bring that. And also for me, I went back to kind of go back in time and I listened to Truly Mental. So Truly Mental is back. I love you too, Laura. Truly Mental is back, right? And after this, Joe and I have to record our next episode for our season 2, episode 1. And what I did is I went back and man, did we have some pretty somber and like, shows. So this was good for me too. Zach's good to have around, and I don't think we always have to be purposeful in what we're doing and having a show. But I hope that we can show the more human side, like Tiff said, that we're humans and we have fun and we're cool. And well, at least I like to think we are. But yeah, our podcast episodes, they just kind of lined up at really somber times, and hopefully we can be more uplifting and fun. But man, it was depressing times when we recorded those. Tom Brady formal.
Yeah, I wasn't cool until I got that DJI OM4, and now I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty cool.
Oh, that reminds a point to make, right?
Yeah.
Is there not a good feeling that comes over you when you get gear that you like?
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah.
Hey, Tiff, jeez,
I know.
Oh, because he's doing your website. Okay.
Outed.
Yeah.
Outed.
No, isn't it cool whenever like you order something that you really want and it gets there and like the unboxing of it and like
you get it. That's why I try and buy something feeling. Every day.
Like I'm looking around my desk and I'm looking at all the things at my desk that are here because Joe peer pressured me into them. Like, I mean,
yeah, man.
John Mayer says John Mayer says he went through a phase of that where he bought whatever he wanted to. He called synthesized soothing or synthesized love, and then he realized that it was all garbage.
Yeah.
So right now we're synthesizing those things,
and our bank accounts probably look like his. So it's like equal stress levels when we're buying things. Yeah. Oh, John and I.
But there is a really cool sense of getting the things that you like and need to do the things you love.
I think there have been studies that have shown that endorphins are literally released when you make an online purchase.
There has to be,
which is nuts, but I feel it. Yesterday I ordered a continuous power supply for the new camera, and I was like, oh, I really don't need to do this. I don't need to buy the Canon brand one because it's way more expensive, and I've got one for the other camera that's an off brand, but oh wait, this camera's still under warranty, and sold. And I just kind of went, huh. It's a power supply. What is wrong with me?
Wow. And buy nice or buy twice. That's my motto. So to me, it's like, I understand the psychology of sales. You're not going to get me every time. I'm not always going to buy the highest end, but I'm going to buy the one right under it. Yeah. Oh, that's the sweet spot. This is a long one. Let me see what we got here. Here's one for you. I was yelled at this morning by a movie production manager, and she muttered, "No childhood trauma here." And I asked, what does that mean? Jason Segel movie shooting here. It was a mean, snide comment, but I have never heard that before. My doc on ACEs and addiction in Humboldt has given me so much knowledge, but I was speechless. Ignore this if it's too heavy. Is there a question in there though for us, Laura? I'm not sure I'm tracking.
I think I'm following her. I think that this person clearly with childhood trauma and that she's taken out on other people was projecting and was basically in a backhanded way saying, "Oh yeah, there's no childhood trauma here," towards Laura, which is very unfair because she probably doesn't know anything about her. But I think if you drill down to it, I think the production manager probably has a very long history of emotional issues that could get drilled into and would be a better person if they were addressed. So Laura, it's not you. It's not you.
And if you have a fundamental understanding of ACEs, which it sounds like you do,
she does.
Then you can. I think it's really important to know about yourself and how that can guide your responses to people like that. I'm sorry that happened to you. But I think where we really change as humans, where you see positive things happen, is whenever our thoughts don't change how we would react negatively. So that our thoughts aren't making us react negatively, or we don't choose to react negatively. And we can always choose to respond. And that's the kind of the beauty of it. And I think that's where change happens, because you want it to be in behavioral change. So it sounds like you have a fundamental understanding of that, but unfortunately it's hard for us to pass it on to other people, especially when they're like that.
Yeah. And I think I was seeking like context. Is like that just out of the blue, you were walking down the street and this happened, or I was trying to put myself in the situation to provide better feedback. So I'm glad Zach and Jesse were able to help you with whatever that was. But for me, I just couldn't understand what the heck happened leading up to that. No childhood trauma here. And so, yeah, I think obviously there's, people outside of this context, anytime someone says something mean, it's to cover a wound that lies within themselves, right? And so it's like a classic bully example, whether you're 12 or you're 60, is I'm going to say something mean to you, like Zach said, to project it out, because that is so much easier and soothing than it is for me to sit here and try and process my own wound. And so while she's saying, hey, no childhood trauma here, what that probably means is I have a lot of unprocessed trauma that I have yet to deal with, and I don't want to. And so it's just easy to be mean. And that really goes for anyone who is just a mean-spirited person. I see them as a person in deep, deep need. Not that they're a mean, broken, worthless cause, but they're truly like they're in such a place of really just being lost and not knowing that they have so much pain within them that they have yet to deal with or process through. And so they're just projecting out all of this rage, anger, fear, whatever it is. Because again, it's like as simple as everything in life can be. It really does come down to those two buckets of this is either an act of love or a call for love. And everything's operated out of love or fear. And you really can break everything down to those. So, but Laura says Zach's got it. And then Elizabeth now is saying that because we love electronics so much, we have low testosterone levels. And so that's possible, I guess. I mean,
I'm 41, Elizabeth. I promise you that is taking place. I promise you it is.
Yeah.
I will take the alternative attack and say that Joe just proved that I still sleep in the bed with my wife. So that cannot be true.
And I have got a lot of kids.
You.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So for Laura,
thanks for bringing some context to the show, Laura.
Yeah.
Like we're about to end it, and now I just feel like we got to do some like real time.
No, there's work we got to do, right? Like,
no, this is great. This is awesome. This is, we should start like marketing our show this way of like, hey, show up with your like points of frustration or like confusion or needs, and let's see if we can kind of like work through them together. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah, like what happened this week? There's something you want to talk through. That's a great idea. And some people are just so used to responding a certain way that's how they've gone through life without ever fixing what's causing that. Whatever's, pricking at that wound for them, they've always responded that way. And I don't know if it's up to any of us to fix that. It's always up to the individual. And I know Joe is a super empath. He has probably 100 relational, and I know, in fact, I know he does. So he's really good at seeing through people and getting them to see inside themselves. But I always tell people that it's ultimately up to the person themselves to be fixed. It isn't our job to fix anyone. We can't. We can give them the tools, we can give them the knowledge. I think Joe quotes philosopher saying, I can't teach anything, or I don't know, what is it, Joe?
Socrates says, I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think.
Right. And that's what we can do. And then we can set examples for how you respond, right? You can, as Joe said, respond with love. So I think you're doing great, Laura.
Yeah. And I say, we essentially can hand you a compass and tell you where true north is, but it's up to you to take the steps to follow that path or not. And again, but part of being a human is an experience. And so we're all going to get it wrong at points. But I love this idea that just was birthed out of what we just went through here. And I do think, of saying, hey, early on, because this show, I just posted it this morning at, 9:30 that we're going live at 11. So maybe this is, crap though. We travel next Saturday and then we're going right to the party. So we're gonna have to figure it out. But here's what I would like to commit to doing is by Monday, set the show for the week, but then invite people to offer up early questions or say hey, bring your frustrations, bring your problems, bring your whatever it is.
What do you want to hear about? What do you want us to talk about?
Yeah, but let's work through it in real time. I love it because here's what we say. If you got a problem, we've got a solution. Point plus. Stop it, Zach. Stop it. He loves when I do.
I think it was this one.
Yeah. He loves when we steal his comedy.
Oh, that was, to be clear, that was not comedy. So you did not steal a thing.
Oh man, whatever, dude.
Oh, so Elizabeth, I thought you were going to say something to us, as in, dear Joe and Jesse, I've got something, but
no, this is
we're going to be dear Joe and Jesse. I got you.
Yeah,
I'm slow.
Let's do it. JJZ.
Elizabeth's very clever. She's a very clever woman.
She is.
I think you might have just lost me.
We did.
Oh, hold on just a second. Go about your business. I'll get me back.
You look great though, man.
Yeah, no, look at that.
You look great. That should be your profile picture.
Yeah. Look like you're trying to smell your chin.
Hey, there we go. We're back.
But wow, we've been on for an hour and 8. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Hey man, there you are. Do you need is there maybe a new part or something you need?
Yeah, that's that power supply. When it gets here, everything will be fine.
You need a gimbal, dude. That's what you need.
I do not need a gimbal for this, but I do need a gimbal.
All right, man. All right. Go ahead, Jesse. What are you going to say, man?
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, Zach, what do you want to leave him with?
Well, I tell you, I'm glad Laura brought up that point because I think it was Jesse that said that, people sometimes almost scream out that they need some kind of change in their life or whatever. But to put it into context, just last night I got a Facebook message from a girl that I knew in college, super smart gal, really together, really knows, she's a yoga instructor, she's really balanced, right? And where I was interacting with her brother on Facebook, and he was being a jerk. I mean, he was being rude. He was being disrespectful. He was name calling, acting like a child. So she sent me a message that said, "Hey, I want to apologize for my brother's being a jerk." But that wasn't the important part of the message. The important part of the message was when I scrolled up further to see our last interaction through Facebook Messenger. It was in 2011. And it was very clear to me that by looking at that exchange in 2011, that I was a jerk and I was really rude to her, and I must have said something very very unkind, and I don't remember it, but immediately I felt terrible, right? So I reached out and I said, "Hey, looking further up in this conversation thread, 10 years ago I must have said something horrible to you, and I want to apologize." because I remember who I was 10, 11 years ago. And that person was very unpleasant, right? Like a very angry, disconnected, like aimless. Like I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know how I wanted to feel as a person. So I always felt badly, right? I always felt frustrated and angry, and I had a temper. And like the easiest thing for me to say was the mean thing, right? Now, fast forward 10 years later, because of looking further into things that we, that we work through in CIT training, and by knowing you guys, like it really changed my outlook and my approach to life. So it took a long time, but I was screaming out, but I also wasn't listening, because when you're screaming, you're not listening, right? So I was screaming out for help, and I wasn't ready to get it. It's a lot like being an addict, right? If you're not ready for the help, you're not going to get it. So it's important to know that so many people out there are behaving badly, they're interacting badly, and especially right now, we see it with the election, we see it with politics, we see it with everything that's going on, even with COVID, because people are taking opposite stances, right? So I think the best thing to do is to offer that one offer of, hey, the way that you're acting is not appropriate, and I can help you with that if you want. But then otherwise, for your mental health, separate yourself, because it's not fair to yourself if those people aren't ready, and those people aren't ready to get better and aren't ready to change, to have it negatively affect you. So I'm really glad Laura pointed it out, because there are people like that everywhere. I was a person like that. So eventually they can get better and they can change, but only when they're ready, right?
Very good, Zach. Very good.
Dude, that was beautiful, man.
That was awesome.
That was beautiful. And that's why we had you on, and we just didn't realize it.
Yeah, that's what you were meant to say.
It only took you an hour and 12 minutes to provide some value. Thanks, man.
I can go back to showing my ass now if you want.
I want to wish my brother-in-law, Robert White, a happy birthday. He turned 51 today. A great man, served his country in the U.S. Navy, attained the rank of Master Chief, and was Command Master Chief here at Fort Sam before retired. Great father, husband, and uncle, and brother-in-law. So I wanted to wish him a happy birthday today. Right now, I really wish the world, or our country rather, would really focus on Stoic philosophies. Right now, there was so much wrapped up in people concerned with a particular outcome and the future. And rightly so. I get that there's a lot vested and a lot of going into it, but I can't help but feel that a lot of people just want to be right. And that's like the focus of all things. And I have to believe that no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, whether it's what you wanted or not, that there is hope for the future, because that lies in each one of us to make this world a better place. We fundamentally make choices in our lives that affect other people. We all do. And we have a circle. And I wanted to say that we should only focus on the things that we can control. So Stoicism kind of says, divide the world up into things, right? Can you control this aspect of life? And then it's dichotomous, yes or no. There's no in between. Like, no, I can't. All right, I need to disregard my feelings for it if they're intense. Then you break it down into the things that you can control. You have to look at it virtually or virtuously, right? Is this thing that I can control, is it going to be good for me or for the world? Is it going to be bad? And then that's a whole nother philosophical perspective. But if we could do that, I really feel that our anxieties would be a lot lower, and we'd all have a lot more hope for the future, and not really just focused on being right or wrong or wanting one outcome or the other. Because no matter what, life's going to go on. And I wish that for everyone in America. I also want to come from a place of gratitude because I realized something this week. It kind of hit me that I'm no longer a law enforcement officer. I delivered an honor chair with 7 Heroes Place for a DPS trooper who was killed in the line of duty a couple of years ago. And we delivered a chair up near Killeen, where that DPS station was at. It was a beautiful ceremony and the family was there and they were very grateful. But I had so many troopers come up to me and like, oh, where do you work? Right. They assume I'm still an officer. And I told them I used to be. And then they were like, where did you leave? And you explained it to them. I got, it was like the first, like, whoa, like I'm not one anymore. Right. I used to be, I'm not anymore. But then the rest of the week progressed and I am surrounded by some amazing people. Like I'm surrounded by Joe. My best friend is Joe Smarrow. That's my best friend. Zach, Trini. I mean, I'm having meetings virtual with Trini. I am doing these things with Robbie and Tommy Capel. And I'm blessed to be surrounded by really great people. And I'm happy for where I'm at in my life and where my life is, going. And I'm excited for the future. So no matter what of all the things surrounding, we can all look at our own lives. We can look at the great things that are happening. And we don't have to focus on all the things that are making us divided. Be present, be grateful, be happy, and I hope we can do that. Thank you.
And don't forget to listen to our podcast.
Boom.
And
Truly Mental is back.
Man, you guys are both like going right at like the heartstrings, man. Like it's all like emotional and I feel warm in my trenches. And I'm just so grateful for both of you men that are not afraid to emote. I have no doubt it's why you're in my tribe. And I say tribe because it's a triangle. So it's like TRI-BE. Yeah, it's just what my brain does. So anyway, I'm going to share this quote because I know not everyone listens in to the daily gig, but I shared it this morning from Seneca and I really liked it. So I just want to leave this quote with you because Jesse was talking about stoicism. And again, to me, I'll tell you, I have, for those that like know that I've had like just a mess of a life for childhood and then most of my adult life, which is choices that I've made and no excuses. I've known right from wrong. I just really had apathy towards all things. I couldn't believe in an idea of love or caring about something that it would last. And that's a sad place to be. And so when I found stoicism at 36 years old, it really was something that I was so like, I had no clue what it was. And I just thought of philosophy or the Stoics or the Greeks as like just this ancient form of just history. And I didn't like history in school, so why would I like it now? But when I started reading some of these books by Ryan Holiday and just realized like, oh, wow, this is really an entire new way of thinking for somebody, especially if you have pain in your life or if you're looking for a new way of thinking. And what Trini will talk about oftentimes, or what he's trying to do with this conference, is provide people with a way of thinking outside of their own way of thinking. And it's just perspective, right? And so for someone for like me, people have a word every year, and my word this year was perspective. That was pre-COVID. But I knew like perspective is so important because how we see things matters. I think first of all, like what we seek, we find. And so like the things that we're looking at in the world, the things that we are registering that we actually see are because those are things that we're already thinking about or looking for, whether we realize it or not. So stoicism, again, it really is such an easy way for me to like undo or cure a lot of pain, because it just reframes of like, oh, like there's absolutely like some truth to, in my opinion, a lot of these great quotes that are thousands of years old, but absolutely resonate still today. And it's not about being morbid or just like, oh, like the Stoics don't have any feelings. Like, no, they absolutely have feelings. They just know how to honor them. They seek them for what they are, and then they can think through them to not react emotionally, rather respond with like some thought. And so I think that's a big difference. But anyway, all of that to say this Seneca quote, which is putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. And I love that the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy. And I think, I didn't create it. I might have heard it and I've tweaked it, but I believe that anytime we have expectations with people, especially, expectations are just future appointments with disappointment. And people are going to let us down especially if we're not using our words to communicate what our needs are. So while this episode, certainly, I don't know if anyone's going to make it this far into it, an hour and 20 minutes to get here, but it is important for us all to like have this platform to say, we are really what we are, and our mission is our purpose, our passion is so much greater than our individual desire to succeed. To me, success really is built on this idea that people can live more holistic lives. People will be able to see things maybe for the first time in their lives as hopeful instead of as being hopeless. And really that's what we set out to do. So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. And I appreciate you, Zach, taking out an hour and a half of your quarantine to hang out with us. But I don't know about next week, everyone. I'm just letting you know because we fly out in the morning, I think around 9 or so, and then we don't land till 3. And then as soon as we land in San Antonio, we're doing kid pickups. Jesse's going to pick up the family, coming to the house, and then we're heading to Trey's house. So I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe we'll do a Sunday show, maybe try something new, but I'm excited about some of the guests we have coming up. So I just don't know if it's going to be next weekend. If not, it might just be the 3 of us again, the tribe hanging out. So anyway, Zach, have a good day, man. I haven't heard you cough, so I think you might be just like 12 or 15 days away from a cure.
It's in Zach's blood. He has a cure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, man, I hope you do get better, man. I hope you start feeling well and that you can hang out with your special dog and your kids and your wife. And so hello to the family, and we will be in touch with you because we'll be seeing you virtually on Monday, man.
Yeah. And if you guys follow us on here and you think I follow them there, that's great. Please do us a favor, follow us everywhere, subscribe to us on YouTube, even if you don't watch us there, help us out. I encourage you to go to your way to, there it is, scan there and follow everything. Truly Mental is coming. It's there. And we got new episodes coming. Text Joe. He likes to send out those texts to his community. We're thankful for our few followers we had this morning. It was last minute, but you guys stuck it with us, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, and real quick, people were saying, "Hey, great new merch. We got three hat styles now," but they went to the website and they said it's not on the website. You're right, but it is 2020, so. Apple Pay me. You can just let me know you want one, send me some money, give me your address, and I might ship it to you. So that's how we're in the e-commerce business right now. So money first, product later. No, but we're not at that place yet. Once we actually have a batch out right now, order of t-shirts that I got customized. I want to see how those are, make a couple tweaks. But once we start getting some actual products and people want them, then I'll see about adding the ability to pay for things and buy straight from the website, but I'm not there yet. So anyway, if you really want something, just hit us up directly and we'll see about making it happen. Cool. Zach, be good, man. Go eat a sandwich, bro. Eat some soup. You can't taste it, so you might as well eat. What's one food you hate?
Squash.
Dude, eat some squash, bro. Do it. You can't taste it, bro.
Thing.
You can't taste it though.
But it's a texture thing, Joseph.
Well, eat it raw.
It's a texture thing, Joseph.
All right, man. Fine. All right. I gotta go.
We gotta record a podcast. We'll see you guys later.
Take care, y'all. Be well.